Coming up on WFT Midday, a warm-up is underway. Temperatures may reach 80 degrees before the end of the month. UF Weather is tracking how long these temperatures will stick around.
The Trump agenda moving at a record pace. The latest executive actions that has federal agencies scrambling to adjust.
Plus, the key to your heart could be out of this world. Why a new study says space travel could help combat cardiovascular disease.
Watching WUFT Midday.
It's been more than 2 weeks since North Central Florida has experienced some warmer weather, and the UF weather team says we will continue to trend in that direction. This is WFT Midday. I'm Maddox Foreman.
And I am Isabela Reinoso. Temperatures are rebounding from last week's bitter chill. We begin with UF forecaster Jadyn Bottini live in the weather studio tracking the warm-up.
Our temperatures right now in the upper 50s to low 60s following a cold front we had pushed through last night, but that cold front didn't bring too much cold air behind it. It did bring a change in winds. However, we have some northerly winds shifting into westerly winds right now. And we're tracking our cold front as it moves off to the east. Our high pressure system will be bringing in some warmer air later this week. Coming up, we're looking at our temperatures for the rest of this afternoon, our rising temperatures throughout the rest of this week, and some showers we can expect into the weekend.
House Republicans are meeting in Miami working on ways to pass President Trump's agenda. The president has signed more executive orders reshaping the federal government, taking steps that pause all federal aid spending and could push transgender troops out of the military. And as Alice Barr reports, federal agencies are ramping up immigration rates across the country.
President Trump further testing the power of the pen with new executive orders and directives, including an internal memo the White House Office of Management and Budget sent overnight, ordering federal agencies to freeze federal aid starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Quote, including but not limited to financial assistance for foreign aid, non-governmental organizations, DEI, woke gender ideology, and the Green New Deal, calling it a temporary pause to determine the best use of funding. Top Democrats responding, expressing, quote, extreme alarm about the administration's efforts to undermine Congress's power of the purse, threaten our national security, and deny resources for states, localities, American families, and businesses. President Trump celebrated his rapid-fire executive actions at a House Republican retreat at his Miami golf club.
My administration has been moving with urgency and historic speed.
One new batch of executive orders directed at the military could force out openly transgender troops. It ends the use of, quote, invented and identification-based pronouns and prohibits males from sharing sleeping, changing, or bathing facilities for females. The president also reinstating service members terminated over vaccine mandates and ordering the creation of a missile defense shield dubbed an American Iron Dome, while at the same time touting stepped-up immigration enforcement and floating the idea of sending U.S. citizens who are repeat criminal offenders to prison in foreign countries.
We're going to get approval, hopefully, to get them the hell out of our country.
The president calling it a cost-saving measure. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
A number of Justice Department officials who were part of the team investigating President Trump were fired on Monday. Those who were fired played a significant role in both prosecution charges. Charges in both of those cases were dropped after his election victory. A DOJ official tells NBC News the acting Attorney General James McHenry does not trust these officials to assist faithfully implementing the president's agenda, adding that this move is consistent with the mission of ending, quote, weaponization of government.
And employees at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have been told to stop communicating with the World Health Organization. These new guidelines have come into place after President Trump's executive order was signed withdrawing the U.S. from the WHO. Federal law requires once a year of notices before withdrawal. Trump's order claims notice was given during his first term in 2020, so withdrawal can happen immediately.
Florida lawmakers filed several bills that would have an impact on undocumented immigrants. WFT's Hayli Balgobin tells us that one portion calls to end in-state tuition in colleges at universities for dreamers, students who are undocumented.
At the state capitol, lawmakers are in a special session at the request of Governor Ron DeSantis. Several bills could affect undocumented college students known as dreamers. When Porter Horn, the director of Immigrant Hope Gainesville, heard about it, he was appalled.
It's been full of a lot of distress. I have clients whose dreams have been shattered. And these are people that I care about.
Senator Jonathan Martin and House Representative John Temple introduced bills repealing a 2014 law currently allowing Dreamers to receive in-state tuition rates. House Representative Anna Escamani says 6,850 Dreamers receive out-of-state fee waivers on average. She suggested 2 amendments in hopes of keeping the Dreamers' dream alive. However, neither were accepted.
It is not uncommon for us to have students who, at no fault of their own, are just trying to survive while navigating these political headwinds.
Senator Ben Albritton is in support of strict immigration mandates.
I want criminal, illegal immigrants to be deported efficiently and effectively. And the best way to do that is to follow the leadership of President Trump.
Senate Bill 20A has been filed, but no action has been taken. House Bill 19A regarding the same issue is currently under review by the Education Administration Subcommittee.
The special session include more federal involvement on the local police level and considerable changes to proposed constitutional amendment petition process.
Florida's Republican-controlled legislature will revamp immigration laws this week, but issued a sharp rebuke Monday to Governor Ron DeSantis that included overriding a budget veto from last year. The House and Senate started and quickly ended a special legislative session that DeSantis called, and then immediately opened their own special session that focuses on immigration issues. The move comes after DeSantis angered House Speaker Daniel Perez and Senate President Ben Albritton by calling a special session that they thought was premature. Perez says special sessions should be used sparingly.
They should not be stunts designed to generate headlines. And the truth is, I dislike special sessions because they inhibit the very thing the legislative process should encourage: the push and pull of meaningful conversations that lead to the development of good and better ideas.
After ending the DeSantis call session and opening their own, their House and Senate released identical bills that will address immigration issues. However, with the annual regular legislative session starting March 4th, lawmakers will not use special session to address the other issues raised by DeSantis.
The death toll in the Los Angeles fires has risen to 29. Thousands of firefighters have been battling wildfires across 45 square miles in Los Angeles County. The 2 largest fires, the Palisades Fire and the Eden Fire near Pasadena, remain active. The Palisades Fire has destroyed or damaged more than 6,000 structures and has covered more than 23,000 acres. So far, it has reached 87% containment. The Eden Fire has damaged or destroyed more than 10,000 structures and burned over 14,000 acres. It has reached 95% containment.
Closer to home and happening right now is the annual Point in Time count. It measures the scope of homelessness in North Central Florida. Volunteers gathered at the United Way take participate in the count this morning. The North Central Florida Continuum of Care will conduct the survey, which is mandated by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. The survey aims to provide information to help better serve the unhoused population.
The Marion County Clerk and Comptroller's Office is offering extended hours for those in need of marriage and passport services, welcoming customers starting at 7 a.m. Marriage licenses and services ceremonies will be held along with the processing of new U.S. passport applicants. There will also be passport photography services. Appointments are necessary and fees will apply. For more information, visit the website or call the number on your screen.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement shared some cybersecurity tips to Floridians during the National Data Privacy Week. Whether you use devices for shopping, banking, social media, or work, using data privacy practices will help your information secure. Some tips include having strong private passwords and keep antivirus software up to date. Keep your firewall on to protect your computer from hackers and unwanted traffic. Be aware of any websites that ask for personal information and read privacy settings on all sites. You can visit FDLE's Secure Florida website for more information to stay safe at secureflorida.org.
It's shaping to be a beautiful day outside. Taking a live look at Paynes Prairie on I-75 from our DOT camera, you can see clear roads and clear skies for this lunch hour. Let's go over to UF forecaster Jadyn Bottini with your UF weather forecast.
Taking a look at campus right now, skies are looking pretty clear with a few scattered clouds. 65 degrees right now, and those winds northwesterly at about 6 miles per hour. Our temperatures right now are in the upper 50s to mid 60s. 65 in Gainesville, 65 in Ocala, 66 in Palatka, a little bit cooler to the north, 59 in Live Oak, and 59 in Lake City. Our hour by hour today, staying in the upper 60s through the evening, cooling down to the upper 50s around 7 p.m. and then by 11 p.m. we'll be at 49 degrees. Looking at our satellite, our cold front that pushed through last night is continuing to push towards the east, and our high pressure system following it is going to cause us and bring us some warm weather for the rest of the week. Towards the west, there's a low pressure system out here causing lots of precipitation in this area, very good for California, but we will feel some effects of this later this week. Looking into tomorrow, we'll get down to 58 degrees by Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Thursday we'll get into the 70s, and Friday will bring us some precipitation. Wednesday we'll have a sun and cloud mixture getting into the 70s on Thursday, warmer wind from the south. Friday we're expecting some precipitation in the evening. This weekend is turning out to look beautiful, high of 74 both days with clear skies. For the rest of the week, 77 on Thursday, getting into 80 on Friday. Don't forget we can expect precipitation at Friday night into Saturday morning, staying warm down for the rest of the week.
It's the #1 killer of Americans. One person dies every 33 seconds from cardiovascular disease. But new research performed in space is aimed at repairing damaged hearts in the future. Mandy Gaither spoke to the lead researcher about how the International Space Station was used to gain knowledge that one day may help patients here on Earth.
What do heart muscle cells, NASA's SpaceX Crew 8 mission, and the International Space Station have in common? They're all part of a new out-of-this-world research that launched in March. Like, literally.
The astronauts were amazing. They conducted many experiments, procedures on the ISS.
Chun-Wei Shi and her team at Emory University School of Medicine sent these heart muscle cells to space to see if microgravity would help them better survive. Right now, she says a damaged heart muscle can't regrow itself, but there's hope that transplanting new cells can one day help repair that damage. However, many new cells die after being transplanted into a patient.
So if you can find ways to improve cell survival, then those methods will be helpful for the cell transplantation applications.
After about a week in space, she got the cells back and says the ones that survived went through molecular changes which allowed them to live. She says those changes were likely due to the stress of space travel, and if that could be replicated, it could help future cells withstand heart repairs.
If we can turn up those molecules on Earth, we might be able to help the cells survive and overcome other stressful situations.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The university says the researchers first tried to replicate microgravity on Earth by using machines which constantly move the cells around. Based on those results, they wondered if the space environment would allow the cells to live longer.
Google will comply with President Donald Trump's executive action to rename the Gulf of Mexico. Google Maps will change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. In a social media post, Google explained it has a long-standing practice of changing names that have been updated in official government sources. The name will be tweaked when the government database is updated. Google says only U.S. users will see the name changes. The rest of the world will continue to see the official global names as well.
Whole Foods just got its first union. Workers at a store in Philadelphia's City Center neighborhood voted to join the union and the United Food Commercial Workers. It was a close vote with 130 employees for and 100 against. The union says workers want better compensation and working conditions. Whole Food claims it already offers competitive wages, great benefits, and career advancements. The union still faces a potentially long road. Amazon, which owns Whole Foods, has a history of anti-union stances. It has refused to negotiate with the union workers who were voted in at Staten Island warehouse.
The Girl Scouts are teaming up with the most famous girl in the fast food. Wendy's new treat is the Thin Mint Frosty. The fast food chain is coming out with a sweet new option featuring the iconic Girl Scout cookie. The new creation is swirled with Thin Mint's cookie flavor, and it's finished with a crumbly cookie butter-esque topping. The Thin Mint's Frosty will be available starting February 21st. Now let's head over to our Noticias partner for a look at today's top stories for our Spanish language audience.
Hola, soy Natalia Kassar con tus noticias en 90 segundos. Llegan los primeros componentes de la supercomputadora a la Universidad de Florida. La Universidad de Florida ha recibido los primeros componentes del Hypergator con inteligencia artificial, un supercomputador que se postula como uno de los más rápidos de Estados Unidos. Con una inversión de $24 millones, este avance fortalece la posición de la universidad como líder en investigación y educación de inteligencia artificial. Este sistema se estima que sea entre 7 a 10 veces más rápido que su versión anterior. La computadora apoyará la enseñanza de 230 cursos de inteligencia artificial. Se espera que los primeros usuarios tengan acceso al nuevo sistema en otoño de este año. Agentes de ICE realizan deportaciones de inmigrantes con antecedentes penales. Los agentes de inmigración y control de aduanas esperaron en autos sin distintivos mientras esperaban a lo que ellos llamaron su objetivo. Christopher Fracoso Lara, un mexicano que había sido condenado por varios delitos y fue arrestado en las afueras del taller donde trabajaba. La administración de Trump ha tratado de demostrar que está cumpliendo las promesas de llevar a cabo las deportaciones masivas a nivel nacional. Esto crea preocupación en inmigrantes que cumplan la ley y pueden ser detenidos arbitrariamente. La Casa Blanca anuncia congelamiento de financiamiento de becas y ayudas. El presidente Trump anunció el congelamiento de becas y subsidios mientras se realiza una extensa revisión de los gastos donde estos influyen. Este cambio puede afectar de una manera exponencial en áreas de investigación como la salud, programas de educación, al igual que otras iniciativas del gobierno americano. Finalmente, la pausa anunciada por la Casa Blanca tendrá efecto a partir de hoy a las 5 de la tarde. Estas fueron tus noticias en 90 segundos. Gracias por sintonizarnos.
Now let's head over to WUFT First at 5 anchor Hayli Kornick with a look at what's coming up on First at 5 on Channel 5.
Looking ahead at First at 5, the annual point-in-time count documenting homelessness in Gainesville starts today. We're taking a look at how some recent moves by the Trump administration have temporarily frozen federal funding for electric vehicle chargers in Gainesville, ways the city of Gainesville plans to improve Citizens Field, and previewing a city commission meeting later today. Check back in with us at First at 5 to catch this and more.
Before we go, one last check on the weather.
That low pressure system in the west will head our way and bring us lots of precipitation Friday night. Taking a look, we're getting into the 70s on Thursday. That precipitation will begin to creep in on Friday, making its way across Florida Friday night through Saturday morning, down to 59 in Gainesville, warming back up and skies clearing for the rest of the weekend. Looking at our 3-day outlook, on Wednesday we can expect a mixture of sun and clouds as the sky clears to prepare for our warmer temperatures on Thursday, getting to 73 on Thursday with those winds coming from the south bringing in our warmer air. On Friday, we're expecting that precipitation in the evening, clearing up by Saturday morning. For our 7-day outlook, getting into 77 on Thursday, up to 80 on Friday, expecting that precipitation overnight Friday into Saturday. Skies looking clear for a warm weekend Saturday and Sunday, and remaining warm for the rest of the week.